I always thought we had one of those marriages people quietly envied. Nothing extravagant, but it was steady. Real. Predictable in a way that felt safe. We were 8 years in, and I thought I had read every chapter of Nicole like a well-loved book. I never expected she'd start a new one without me. It started with a couch. Funny how you can trace the unraveling of your life back to something so simple. Nicole had insisted we needed a new one for the den. We're not college kids anymore, Rob. That thing's an eyesore, she'd said, scrunching her nose at the faded fabric like it offended her personally. So one Saturday, we went to this upscale furniture store downtown. Elegant place, clean lines, warm lighting, everything about it said, "Welcome to adulthood." That's where I first met him. Alan. Store manager. Tall, charismatic, polished in a way that made you feel like you were the guest and he owned the room. From the start, Nicole lit up around him. Not in a flirty, obvious way, at least not then. It was subtle. The kind of glow people get when they're seen. Heard. He had that salesman charm, sure, but there was something in the way he looked at her that unsettled me. Like he already knew something I didn't. I chalked it up to overthinking. We bought the couch. Nicole started mentioning the store more often. Said she was helping them with a side project. Alan wanted local artists to display pieces in the showroom, and Nicole, with her art history background, was the perfect fit. At first, I was proud. She hadn't been this excited about anything since her gallery internship years ago. But the late nights started. Weekend errands that took too long. She'd come home flushed, smiling, sometimes smelling faintly of cologne that wasn't mine. I asked once. Casually. "You and Alan working late again?" She shrugged, said he was a perfectionist, always tweaking the layouts. "You'd like him if you got to know him, Rob," she added. Maybe that was the moment I began to spiral. I started noticing the way she dressed when she said she was heading there. Makeup, heels, details I used to love but now felt like daggers. I'd wait up, pretending to be half asleep when she walked in. She always kissed me goodnight, soft and routine, like a band-aid over a bullet wound. The confirmation didn't come with fireworks. Just silence. I'd come home early one Tuesday, an unexpected break from a conference call marathon, and found Nicole's phone on the kitchen counter, buzzing with a message, "Still thinking about last night. The way you looked on that velvet chaise. God, Nicole." I didn't react at first. My hands just moved, thumbing through the messages like they belonged to someone else. I saw everything: dates, locations, even photos. Her smile, half lit by showroom lights, her hand on his chest. The couch we bought was in the background of one shot. I sat there for a long time. Didn't even hear her come home. When she finally noticed the phone in my hand, her face drained of color. "Rob." That's all she said. Just my name. No lies, no frantic explanations. And somehow, that hurt more. I didn't yell. Didn't cry. I just nodded, walked past her, and drove. No destination. Just away. I ended up sleeping in the truck that night, under the orange haze of a Walmart parking lot, heart pounding like it was trying to escape me. I kept replaying everything. Her laughter. Her glow. How long had I been a ghost in my own marriage? And worse, why didn't I see it coming? I didn't go back home the next morning. Not right away. I spent the early hours in a diner across town, staring into a lukewarm cup of coffee that had long lost its taste. My phone buzzed every so often, Nicole calling, texting, trying to explain. I didn't read any of them. I couldn't. Not yet. I needed air. Space. But mostly, I needed to figure out who I was without her. The couch arrived that Friday, delivered with all the sterile professionalism you'd expect. I almost laughed. There it was, the centerpiece of our newly designed den. The one she and Alan probably christened in secret, wrapped in soft velvet and betrayal. When Nicole walked in that evening, she froze. Her eyes darted to the couch, then to me, sitting on it like it was a throne of broken trust. I didn't say anything. Just waited. I was going to tell you, she whispered, as if that somehow made it less cruel. How long? My voice was calm. Too calm. She sank into the chair across from me, the one we'd never agreed on but she insisted matched the aesthetic. A little over 2 months, she said. But it didn't start like that. He just listened to me. About art, about my ideas. You were always so safe? I interrupted. Predictable? No, she said quickly. You were always there. Solid. But I started feeling invisible, Rob. You stopped seeing me. That stung. Because maybe she wasn't wrong. I had become comfortable. Too comfortable. I'd built us a life with walls strong enough to keep everything out, including her. But none of that justified what she did. I read the messages, I said. All of them. The photos. You were more alive with him in one picture than you've been with me in months. Tears welled up in her eyes. Real ones, not the rehearsed kind. I didn't mean to fall for him. He made me feel like I mattered again. You do matter, I said, my voice cracking. Just not to me anymore. That was the moment it all broke. We didn't fight. No screaming. No ultimatums. Just silence that stretched between us like the space between two cliffs. Over the next week, we started the practical dance of separating. She moved into a friend's guest room. I stayed in the house, but every room whispered her name. The couch, especially. It became a monument to what we lost and what we never really had. Alan, the manager, never reached out. I guess once the illusion shattered, he disappeared with it. Nicole never admitted it, but I think she realized she wasn't his grand love story. Just another customer he charmed across the sales floor. A few months passed. I sold the couch. Gave away most of the furniture, actually. The house felt less haunted with every piece that left. One night, I drove past the showroom. It looked the same clean, curated, glowing under soft lights. But it felt hollow. Like a stage after the actors have gone home. I'm not angry anymore. Not really. Just different. I still think about Nicole sometimes, not as my wife, but as someone I used to know. Someone who lost herself, and in doing so, helped me find parts of myself I'd long buried under routine. Infidelity doesn't just break trust, it rearranges your entire reality. But in the rubble, you get to decide what you rebuild. Me? I bought a used recliner. It doesn't match anything, and it squeaks when I shift my weight. But it's real. It's mine. And for now, that's enough.